Have you ever wondered why you really just don't like religion and why you have such a struggle internally about religion or church or structure or different things, and it just feels like no matter what you do, everything just like rubs against it? Yes. Now, some people are very good at pretending that they like religion. They're very precise in their prayers, liturgies, rituals. They check every box and they pass go on every single thing. But here's the dirty secret about religion. If your religion requires an appeasing sacrifice, I have news for you. You will be the toast and you will be the sacrifice. And I think that's why a lot of people instinctively rebel against religion. It's because we know deep down that you will become the burnt offering, and it doesn't matter what deity you wind up setting on top of that pyre, it won't be right. Now, that might be a strong statement for a few people, so let me back up. Have you ever heard someone explain that they really like Jesus, but they don't like religion? Now, when you hear that statement, you'll either be like, yes, full body assent, or you'll be like, deep eye rolls. And, have you ever wondered why I'm recording from France, why a French person hates religion so much? This is a secular society. And this statement, why don't French people like religion, may trigger a full body eye roll. But stay with me now. These statements reflect a reality, and that reality is this. You were not made for religion. You were not made to be the burnt, crispy chicken on the funeral pyre of religion. When Jesus died on the cross and became a sacrifice, he said these words, "It is finished." And everything from that point forward happens from a completed, full stop sacrifice. And that sacrifice did not happen so that you could feel guilty and bad and guilty that you killed Jesus. No, Jesus was slain. When? Before the foundations of the world. Long before you ever decided to think about sin or the devastating consequences of sin. And sin is when things just don't go right. And we've all been there where a decision I made or somebody else made had devastating consequences. But here's the thing about the cross. It was finished. The sacrifice was done and made long before you ever thought of it. Outside of time, God the Father, the Holy Spirit, and Jesus decided, this is how they would bake redemption into the plan of the world. How the gospel would be baked in to redemption and restoration, foundations up. He was slain before the foundations of the world. But this is where deception often comes and tries to take root. Religion seeks to build on top of what was never Jesus in the first place and demand that you become the sacrifice. So Jesus said, "It was finished. I was slain before the foundations of the world." Religion comes and says, "No, we need another sacrifice." Religion does not invite you into a redemptive story where any loss you may experience will be counted as gain in the incomparable measure of knowing Christ. No, religion demands a terrible price. It doesn't come say, "Lay down your life and follow me." It's already finished. Come enter into my rest. Come enter into my story. Religion says you need to sacrifice to appease. And that's because the old gods demand appeasing. They don't care what you call them. They don't care what name they go by. The old gods have gone by many names. Their only goal, however, has been to make sure that you never get a hold of the true. The one who said, "It is finished. I was slain for you before the foundations of the world. I paid the price that every mistake could be made right. Now come follow me Give away that old life and I'll show you what life is really about. But the reason we don't like religion is because you're rebelling against a system that you were not made for. In fact, you are doing the right thing by saying, I don't like religion, because religion demands an appeasing sacrifice. Jesus says, come lay down your life with mine. We will find the redemption together. Because it's never been about your sacrifice. It's been about his. And it's never been about your story. It's been about joining into the story that was written before the foundations of the world. It was never about your sacrifice. It was always about joining your life to his. And that is why people rebel against religion, because we know instinctively, as Paul says in Romans, that religion is false. And people are not rebelling against people or their beliefs. People are rebelling against the false gods that demand an appeasing sacrifice. They are rebelling against the false gods who do not become a sacrifice for you. The ones that demand an appeasing, people are rebelling against those. So let me tell you, when you are finished appeasing the gods, there is a better way. James says that pure and undefiled religion before God our Father is this: to look after orphans and widows in their distress, and to keep oneself from being polluted by the world. And when you learn this is what God is after, that you lay down your life in the footsteps of somebody that's already paved a way, and that your life story matters when it's entered into his life story, it no longer looks appealing to appease the old gods with their false sacrifices. Whew. Hey there, I'm Mary, and I write and teach on the spiritual realm, but only with Jesus. And if you enjoyed this, follow along. There's going to be a lot more coming.